Growing up, I was always watching Nickelodeon. What's a Jonas Brother? I'm watching Danny Phantom. So the reveal of a Smash Bros style game, but with a Nickelodeon roster, was absolutely amazing to me. And right away, we got characters that I wanted. I mean, Danny Phantom, Reptar, yes, please, those are awesome picks. And I love that they're throwing in some new stuff along with some old stuff. No side is really getting too much of a preference. It's pretty much 50-50 right now. So we should go ahead and change that with some of my opinions on who should be in this game. So starting out, you know that we have to have representation from Jimmy Neutron and from Fairly Odd Parents. And frankly, I'm surprised that they haven't had any characters already revealed for the roster. Fairly Odd Parents was one of the flagship series for Nickelodeon. It ran for like 15 years or something like that. So I'm frankly surprised that we don't have a single character from that series. And while Jimmy Neutron didn't run as long as Fairly Odd Parents, it is absolutely just as iconic. Universal Studios had a Jimmy Neutron ride, so I think if you got a theme park ride, you're iconic enough to be in this game. And frankly, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, where Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents crossed over, makes it so that I just can't see this game not having both Jimmy and Timmy in it. So if one is in, definitely I think the other should be in. And the cool thing about this is that both characters sort of have built-in ways to have literally any moveset that you could imagine. Cosmo and Wanda can easily be anything that they want, because think about all of the different things they transformed into in the game. Literally anything you could want Timmy to use as a move, it could just be pink and green, it's Cosmo and Wanda, he's fighting using them as his weapons. You know, they could be giant robot arms, or plasma guns, or a sword. I mean, literally anything they could be, so I think that that has a lot of potential for a really creative moveset. And Jimmy Neutron is famous for making all of these different inventions, and that could very easily lend itself to a moveset. It's been a while since I've seen Jimmy Neutron, so please, cut me a break here, but a lot of his inventions could end up being different moves. I mean, for example, a recovery move could be him riding Goddard, his robotic dog. We could even get crazy with it and have him use a shrink ray on other characters who end up turning small for, 10 seconds at a time. There's a ton they could do there, and so both of those characters, I think, easily earn spots. And I don't really even need to say that Hugh Neutron needs to be in the game. I mean, even just for the hilarity of it, he just absolutely would be funny to see in the game. Next, let's talk about Avatar. Now, Avatar hasn't had any full-on character reveals, but based on the footage that we've seen two stages that suggest that we're going to have two Avatar characters at least coming to the game. We've seen gameplay taking place on a stage based on an air temple, and we've seen a stage based on the spirit world. So of course that automatically suggests that Avatar Aang and Avatar Korra are both going to be in this game, because those are both pretty notable locations for each respective character. So surely we're going to see them bending all of the elements and doing a bunch of crazy things. I would be upset if we didn't see Aang doing an air scooter, for example. But I think a character that doesn't have access to all four elements would also be really cool. So Katara, Zuko, Toph, or even some of the characters from Korra like Mako or Bolin. It would be really cool to see a bunch of different styles and advanced techniques for waterbending that only Katara really would use, because she doesn't have access to three other elements. We could see water turning into ice, or, if it was Toph, we could see her metal bend. I don't really care which character it is, and I'm loving that Avatar is seemingly going to get some love in this game, because Avatar is honestly like a top 3, maybe even top 1 series for me. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to play as these characters if they're going to be in the game. But more Avatar, please. More. Come on, give us more characters. I'm down for it. Okay, now don't get mad at me, but I think it would be really funny if we had a Nick Jr. meme joke character be in the game. I mean, can you imagine if we had Dora the Explorer, or, Pablo the Penguin from the Backyardigans? Or imagine Steve from Blue's Clues going and doing a Shoryuken or something. I mean, that would just be so funny. I genuinely don't expect that to happen at all, because I feel like putting a young kid's character in a game that has even cartoonish violence, it's definitely toeing the line of what might be acceptable, but it definitely would be funny nonetheless. Next, another one of my favorite Nickelodeon series is Danny Phantom, and I think that it would be a missed opportunity to not include a villain from the many villain options that exist in Danny Phantom. I think the best one would probably be Vlad Plasmius, though. Vlad kind of serves as an arch rival among the many arch rivals Danny Phantom has, but the unique thing is that he is also half a ghost like Danny. He's just 20 years ahead of the game, so he's got all these different powers that a young Danny Phantom doesn't have that I think would be really cool to sort of serve as an opposing force to the Danny Phantom we have in the game. For example, Vlad can duplicate himself into, 4 doppelgangers, and that's something that Danny really struggles to do until later on in the series, and so I think that that would be cool to have a sort of mid to average, power level Danny Phantom versus Vlad Plasmius, who's been doing this for years and years and years and years. But that's just me nerding out a little bit about the shows that I loved as a kid. I'm just very happy that Danny Phantom is in the game at all. Now, I'm not sure how many SpongeBob characters I would want. There's definitely a chance that the roster could be completely oversaturated by SpongeBob because, that's Nickelodeon's cash cow, that's their golden goose. But I still think it would be funny to have a couple more characters. First, the obvious one is Squidward. I think it would be really funny to see Squidward fighting in a Smash Bros style game. There's just something about it. I mean, can you imagine him running and just hearing the... Something about that just seems absolutely hysterical. But if you want to go an even funnier route, I think Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy would be absolutely perfect. Just think about it. In-universe, in the show, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are supposed to be these fantastical superheroes like Batman and Robin who stop crime and have all these evil villains, and they're just amazing. And then SpongeBob and Patrick meet them, and they are just these old senile men who just have no idea what's going on half the time. I mean, that concept alone is hysterical, but now imagine you put those old senile men into a fighting game and still somehow they, get it done. That just sounds amazing to me. If those aren't characters, whether there's DLC down the line or something, that would be a huge missed opportunity again, because that's hilarious, but also an idea that just absolutely works. Now, I know I'm focusing a lot on the quote-unquote funny characters, but I mean, come on, it's Nickelodeon. It's gotta be a little funny, and this game definitely doesn't seem like it's shying away from the humor aspect. So, any chance that we can put a funny character in, I think that would be awesome. And the final character that I want in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl is...
Violet!